Hi everyone, my name is Nghiem. Welcome back to High Vibes Voicey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I have two wonderful guests. I have my co-hosts Minh and our guest Thao. I'll let you guys do a brief introduction of yourselves, starting with Minh.
Hi everyone, I'm Min. I just flew in from LA yesterday just to be on the show. I'd love to talk to these two amazing people right here. I'm really excited.
Hello, everybody. My name's Thao, and I'm equally excited to be here. And I'm born in Vietnam, raised in Dallas, and I'm also a nurse and a photographer. And yes, let's do this.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for the brief introduction. So, Thao, why don't we start with a brief summary of certain milestones of your life, what you're proud of, any goals that you've achieved so far that you would like to share.
Okay. Let's see. So when I think about my life, first of all, to know that I've actually found a purpose in it. Because I think growing up, it's really hard to be like, okay, what do you want to do with your life? And then you have the pressure of trying to pick the right thing. And something I've definitely learned throughout life is there's usually more than one path to take, and I have become a believer in God when I became like in my 30s. And so that's changed perspective on a lot of things. And I just feel like as long as you've got, God in your heart and you can be his hand and feet wherever you go and whatever you do, that makes a huge difference. And I feel like just the things that I've enjoyed in life, traveling, helping people, God has really taken all of that and had me go on mission trips. And I believe I kind of lost count, but maybe 18 countries
That's
that
awesome.
I've traveled to, helping and just spreading, the good news, and then also being able to do that back here and serving and being at the hospital, taking care of the little tiny babies. So
yeah, and it sounds like you've traveled a lot globally for a lot of volunteer work. Is there any place that really stand out to you personally?
Yes. So my parents and I, we came here when I was just a baby, and we had to escape after the war in Vietnam. And so we stayed at two refugee camps for about 6 months, Thailand and the Philippines. And so whenever I got invited to go on this mission trip, and it was to Thailand, and it was to a refugee camp. And when we were there, because since I was so small, I don't remember that time. But when I was there as an adult and being able to meet these refugees and these young mothers holding their babies, it really made me see this is what my parents went through. This is what my mom went through. And so that trip for sure was very, very, very memorable for me.
Yeah. Could you speak a little about the path to nursing, why you chose to pursue that, how it's been, and how it's evolved over your tenure as a registered nurse?
Absolutely. So I did not want to be a nurse. I want to be a veterinarian. And so that's the great thing about life, right? And I did not want to be a nurse because my mom was a nurse. And I saw how hard she worked. And to be honest, I wanted to create my own path in life. I wanted to do my own thing. However, over time, I wasn't really sure. I really wasn't sure what I was good at. When I was a baby, I actually wanted to be a dishwasher because I love playing with water, So I was like, where's my direction? But as I got older, I credited a lot to my science teachers at community college, because I didn't think that I was good with science. But because of these teachers, they helped me understand anatomy, physiology, biology, and they made it interesting. And we're humans, right? So to learn like, wow, our body's capable of this. And so that's when I started to realize nursing could actually be an option, because I honestly didn't think I was smart enough. And so around that time, my mom, I tell people she asked the right question at the right time. She said, what about nursing? And it made sense. It just made sense. And so I went into nursing, however, thinking that I was going to keep going and do something else, such as a PA or a physical therapist. And at the time, they required like more than a bachelor's degree to get
Right.
those. So I said, okay, no problem. I'll just get my bachelor's in nursing and move on. Because I honestly didn't know what a nurse was. I thought a nurse was, okay, here's your medicine, you know, Mr. Smith, and that was about it. You just pass out, you know, these pills. But then once I got to nursing school, I realized, yeah, I really don't think this is for me. You know? Because day one, I remember they were like, okay, here's a bed sheet, and this is how you change a bed sheet, you know, and you gotta fold it in the corners. And I was like, what am I doing? I don't think this is it. But then once I got to, you know, I graduated, and then they're like, okay, where do you want to work? What should I do? And I chose to work with babies, because I just felt like with babies, I understood, you know, this is what a normal baby should act like, and then a premature baby, this is what it should be like, this is what to expect. And to me, in my mind, that just made sense. So I got accepted to in the neonatal ICU, working with mostly premature babies and also babies who are term but are sick. And you guys, working there, I changed my first diaper in my entire life at work. And but still, to be honest with you, I just thought, okay, again, stepping stone, I'm gonna move on. But over time, I learned that nursing is so much more. It's one of my favorite things to being in the NICU is talking to the families, getting to know them, because my babies, you know, they can't talk to me. And so being able to talk to the families and just realizing like this journey that they went through, and then now they're here in this stressful situation, and just being able to talk to them, listen to their story, and support them is really huge for me. I love being able to do that. So
Amazing.
Is nursing what drove you to doing the volunteer work across the world?
So it was, let me think. At one point I thought, you know what, I think it's time for me to move on.
Yeah.
You know, and from being a NICU nurse, and I'm gonna do something else. And so I actually thought about being a certified registered nurse anesthetist. So it's like an anesthesiologist, a little bit less schooling. And so I started to do the process for that, and they really suggest you do 1 year of adult ICU. So I did that, but while I was in the adult ICU, it made me realize, you know what, this is so hard to do, being in the adult ICU, and if they gave me more money, would I stay here? And I was like, no, you know, I don't think I would. And then I thought, wait, why am I, you know, going to be a CRNA again? Is it for the money, or why is it, you know? And at that time, a lot of my friends were like, we don't really see you doing that, because you're so social, you like to talk, and your patients are going to be asleep, you know? And so they didn't really see that connection. So I just instead started doing photography and playing around with the camera, and I started taking photos of my coworkers in the adult ICU, and they were very supportive of that, and they really helped me kind of just steer my attention to that.
Sure.
So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to work with the little babies, because with that, I feel comfortable doing that. I've been doing that for a long time, and then I can focus on taking photos. And after taking photos for a little while, I thought, I can do more. I want to do more with photography. I want to use it to help people. And at the time, there was this photographer named Jeremy Cowart, and he had this project called Help Portrait. And what he did was he got photographers and makeup artists, and they would volunteer their time to be with homeless people, and made them all up, made them look and feel confident. Okay. Took their portraits. Absolutely. Because that would help them to have the confidence to go and apply for jobs, and to, sure. You know, and so I did that locally here at a nursing home. And fun fact, the nursing home that we volunteered at, we did portraits for the residents who lived at the nursing home. My parents, one of their first jobs when we came here to Dallas was at that nursing home.
Wow,
actually.
Full circle.
So yes. And so it was really great to be able to do that. And a fun moment from that day was my friends were trying to get residents, to get their photos taken. And this one, you know, older gentleman, he was like, well, I guess I do need a photo for my obituary, you know. And so he went back to his room and he put on a suit, and then he got his photo taken. So yeah.
Hi, thanks for tuning in so far, listening to our guest's amazing story. This will conclude part 1, and so stay tuned for part 2.